Good afternoon, and welcome into the Hall of Fame corner of Dave Niehaus Way and Edgar Martinez Drive. This is the On Deck Show, presented by T-Mobile. Now, here's your host, Dave Sims.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to T-Mobile Park. This is the On Deck Show presented by T-Mobile. I'm your host, Dave Sims. Glad you have joined us for this half hour as we take in the Mariner batting practice. Guys are feeling pretty good, as well they should after last night's 6-5 win. A walk-off fashion by Tom Murphy getting it done in the back end of that ball game last night. And right now, since he's here, let's take advantage of having Justin Hollander here, the assistant GM. I haven't seen you in person since at least September of last year. How are you?
I'm great. It's great to be here. I haven't seen a lot of people in person in a long time, and even longer than that, I haven't seen people's teeth. I haven't seen their mouths, their smiles. It's great to see you.
Good call. Gary Hill Jr. with us as well. Mariners radio engineer and play-by-play guy and producer. Good to have you with us, Gary.
With teeth.
With teeth.
You put them in this morning. Yeah, right. Hey, good times right now. Five consecutive wins. I understand the up and down roller coaster nature of baseball, but this team is doing some good things.
This has been the roller coaster of roller coasters the last 2 weeks or so. I'm really proud of our guys. Obviously a rough road trip and a rough time in San Diego with the COVID protocols and really coming into some tough games and some lopsided scores. And to come home and do what we've done is awesome. It's a real testament to the character on the team, the character on the staff, because it's easy to fold when you have the most IL placements in the league, and you have COVID issues on top of it. And instead, they came out here and they've done great. We're not just surviving; we're winning and thriving, and it's been awesome to watch. A lot of fun.
Yeah, indeed. And the news today. I mean, after all of that good stuff, you wake up today, Kyle Lewis, torn meniscus. He's playing so well. Such a big part of your ball club. Was really starting to stroke the ball and hit the ball all over the yard. It's tough.
It's another blow. We've had a lot of them this year, but no one's going to feel sorry for us. I think the good news is with Lou is that we don't think it's a long-term thing.
Okay.
That this isn't going to be career-affecting or career-altering. So we're hopeful that he gets through it reasonably quickly. How quickly, we don't know yet. And we see him right back in center field where he belongs for us. And next man up. Obviously, Taylor Tramella's here today, and he was absolutely on fire, like double fire emoji next to him the way he was playing in AAA. So he'll be right back, and I'm sure he'll be excited to land. I think he lands in about 20 minutes, so he'll be here soon.
Man, next man up is the perfect description of what we've seen. It's pretty impressive to me when you look at it big picture so far this season. If you would have laid out some of the things you've had to fight through, Paxton, Marco, go down the list, right? And here you are, you find yourself a game above 500. Given the context, you have to be pretty pleased about where the team is at overall.
I had the exact same conversation with Scott Servais this morning. You always want to be better. We want to push and drive our guys to, perform better offensively or to throw more strikes. Generally, score more, give up less. But the context of everything that's happened this year and some of the things we've seen to say that all that has happened and we're still a game over 500 at this stage with the youngest team in the division, and I think the second youngest in baseball. Really, really important for this group at such a young age to experience winning, to experience failure for 6 games in a row and then success for 5 games in a row. That's a big thing for our growth.
And you've used the most guys in baseball, too, which is extraordinary. 46 guys you've used.
I think we had something like 75 transactions last month.
Yeah. I saw that.
I joked with everybody last Friday when we had the COVID issues. I made 87 phone calls on Friday morning from 8 to 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. So over a 5-hour stretch. Oh. We made 75 transactions in the month. It's not something that we prefer to do. We're not making the transactions to match up left to right or to come up with optimal lineup. We're making transactions to survive day to day. It's really a credit to what is going on in AAA in terms of preparedness that Chris Negron and the staff there and Andy McKay and the whole player development system has brought to the group, as well as the major league staff incorporating so many new faces on a day-to-day basis. Again, really proud of where our guys are at. That's really hard to do. That many transactions, that many new faces, that many new bodies, and still continue to just plug a new guy in. I think our bullpen's the greatest example of that.
Yeah.
We've seen so many guys bounce out, and then the next guy comes in, and, he may pitch the 7th inning that night coming straight from AAA, and they've just found a way to do it.
I'm glad you mentioned that, too, because I have been fascinated by our conversations with some of the new guys coming in. You've kind of had a phase 1 bullpen with the bullpen in April. That was dynamite. And then phase 2, which has really been a lot of turnover with everything that's happened. And we've seen Sewald and Chagua, who are not only pitching well, but pitching in high leverage situations. And what's been fun is when you have conversations with Duggar and guys like that have been here, they have talked about the analytics group pinpointing things they do well and they should be doing more, and we've seen that on the field, and just the symmetry between the analytics group, the field staff, the guys buying in and seeing the results. It's been pretty fun to watch, especially with the bullpen unit.
Yeah, we have a really open group. Everybody's connected. There's no my way is the right way. It's always a conversation. How do we get the most out of our players? And really, really happy with how we've incorporated player plans for everybody. They're very individual. Some guys we want to throw more breaking balls. Some guys we want to throw less breaking balls. Mm-hmm. There's not one way because everybody's unique. Everybody's different. So it's a huge credit to Sewald and to Shaggy and the rest of those guys that they've jumped on board and just bought into what is the best version of themselves and then gone out here and done it. And I think we saw in Oakland, there's a general relaxed vibe with that crew. Shaggy catches the pop-up and turns around and yells at the dugout. They're pitching like they're comfortable, like they belong. Yep. Those guys have had success in their career. They should feel comfortable. They should feel like they belong. And, we claim Zamora off waivers from the Mets. And
he's 2-0 here.
It's amazing.
Are you kidding?
He vultured 2 wins.
Right. Phil Regan's jealous wherever Phil is right now these days. Unbelievable. Justin Hollander, our guest right now, the Mariners assistant GM. Good night for you tonight with Marco coming back, even just for 3 innings, just to have him out there, just the presence.
Really important for us. Again, we referenced it. If you'd have told me we'd be where we're at and only had seen Marco for 3.5 weeks of this season versus what we got last year from Marco, which was one of the best starters in the American League, really important for our club. And obviously tonight will be a shorter one. After this, we hope we can build him into his usual Marco length. 6 innings every time out is generally what you can count on from Marco. It does. The reliability really helps. And I want to credit Yusei Kikuchi for the way he stepped up without Marco.
Yeah,
his consistency, 6 innings every time out, taking the ball, saving the bullpen every time he's been in there, has really made up some of that ground. Obviously, now that we add Marco back to the equation, we hope we can get into that 6-man rotation, 6 innings a man, which will even help the bullpen more because now we're not going to ask them to cover 4 or 5 innings every night.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Big difference.
Oh, my goodness.
He's been all-star quality, Kikuchi.
He's been unbelievable.
He's been so good.
And it's amazing what is coming out of his hand right now matches up with the overall results. He's throwing 99 miles an hour the other day. He's got a changeup now, which has been a huge difference for him. Just something that breaks the other way has been a big difference.
More belief in himself?
Definitely. I think, the first year it was all so new for him. The language, the drive to work was different than something he'd ever done. He had a baby. The cultural adjustment for not just him, but for his wife. His father died. There's a lot going on in his life in addition to moving to a new country. Last year, we saw the weapons take a big step forward. Velocity was way up, and then it was commanding the weapons, working ahead in counts, and now we're seeing the combination of comfort and stuff, both at a high level, and I think you're seeing a guy who, features himself as one, or should be featured as one of the best starters in the American League.
I mean, the belief factor, we hear about it all the time, but you can see it. And he's carrying himself as an elite athlete right now, as opposed to hunting and pecking. Hey, he's going for it right now.
There's no nibble in his game right now.
Right.
It's attack mode all the time, and we joked about it in spring training. He pitched on the backfields in a B game at Cleveland, and he was kind of struggling through the outing. It's a backfield game. There's not a lot of energy. It was probably the hottest day in spring training that we had. It was in the 90s. He was just fighting his way through the outing. Wasn't real crisp. And I remember in between innings, I was at the B game, and Scott and Woody approached him and said, "We want you to yell on every pitch. Find a way to pump yourself up." And they asked Kevin Ando, his interpreter, what do we call that? The fire. And he said, "It's Udasai. Be loud." So they started yelling Udasai from the dugout in the B game after every inning. And he's taken it out here. He's really brought that intent, that anger to every pitch.
I've enjoyed it on the TV side and the radio side, hearing him exhale and whatever yelling he's doing, it's very effective, and it really fits the eye.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to watch the stair step too, because you looked under the hood last year. He did a lot of things really well.
Yep.
They just all didn't show up in the surface numbers, and now it just feels like it's all coming together for him.
Really, really happy for him to experience this kind of success, because success, obviously, belief comes with success. Success comes with belief, and it's feeding itself right now.
All right, I'm a fan at home, and I'm sitting. We're not hearing names, and wonder when these guys are coming back. Evan White, Dylan Moore, Kendall Graves.
So, TBD, obviously, and I don't want to play a doctor on the radio. I would say that of that group, Evan's probably the furthest out of that group.
He's got the hammy.
He's got the hip.
The hip.
It's a hip injury, and he's been down a long enough time that he's probably going to need to go on a rehab assignment for a decent stint, just to get his timing going. You don't really want to throw him in the mix, having had no timing and been off this long. I would say if all goes well with Demo and Gravy, hopefully by the middle of the month, 2.5 weeks away. But again, there's a lot. It will have been a long time since Gravy touched a baseball. So,
and the guys who were in San Diego, they're out now. They've completed their term down there.
Drew Steckenrider is out. We still have some hurdles to cross with Kendall.
Oh, wow. This is amazing. It really is.
Can't talk a lot about it, but needless to say, hopefully middle of the month.
Yeah. And anybody else? We talked about Trammell will be here. Where's he coming in from today?
They were in Reno. So he got on a 2 o'clock flight today from Reno, and I think he lands about 20 minutes ago he landed. So hopefully there's no traffic on the way from the airport.
Man, what a great feeling that, to get that call. And you would take a flight anytime, anywhere, land anytime to get back to the big league.
I've never heard someone say, can I catch a later flight to the big league? So.
When's the first flight? Yes.
I'll be up for the next 48 hours. I don't care. No question about it. Justin, thanks so much, man. Good to see you. Good to see you for the first time in about a year. Almost. It feels like a year.
Let's do it after every 5-game winning streak.
Yes. It's sold.
Or 10-game winning streak. How about that?
I'll be back in 5 days.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you bet. Justin Hollander, assistant GM, the Mariners. Mariners playing some good ball, Gary. 5-game winning streak. And yesterday was probably one of the more emotional wins we've seen.
Absolutely. I feel like we should all do our Tom Murphy impression.
I can't do it. I don't want to scare
sure?
anybody. Dude, I'm driving home last night.
It's the greatest.
I got home and I saw it and I went, wow.
It's amazing. I mean, now I feel like that has to happen after at least every walk-off win.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind seeing that after every win.
Here's the thing that sort of tickled me as I was calling it. We were sitting here, you, me, and Rick, and the guys, I don't know where this tradition started where you rip the jersey off.
Right.
But dudes are bouncing. There's certain guys who are very reluctant. They want to get in, touch him, get out. Other guys are trying to wrestle and losing. And I just, he's acknowledged as probably the strongest guy in the team. And I'm thinking, and guys are bouncing off him like a Super Bowl.
I know.
And I'm
like
thinking,
little kids.
You don't want a part of this, this whirling dervish.
We were in Minnesota once. As you know, they have a great gym in Minnesota.
Oh, my goodness. That's where I got hurt, right?
That's where you got hurt. That's right. But I was in there once, and Tom Murphy was in there working out. So I was trying to do this without being a weirdo, but I was trying to watch him work out, essentially. I was working out in the area just to see, and he talked about it with us in the off season, where he doesn't do anything like wild, but as he describes it, he does everything with high intensity, right? And so I'm watching him, and just the amount of weight and the intensity on his face when it works out, it is no joke, man.
So he's
no joke.
He's doing. I'm guessing, because I talked to him about this once on a Zoom in January and a couple times in the clubhouse back in the day when we could go to the clubhouse. But he's into the whole Russian weight training stuff. He's doing the heavy stuff, the basic heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes after it, man.
He sure does. I mean, he did not get this way by accident. He works really, really hard. Really hard. Really intense.
The other thing, couple other things that came out yesterday. Fraley comes back. Here's a guy that seems like every time he gets going, something happens. He had a couple of hits yesterday.
He was good. He was good on his assignment, too. He was walking a ton, which is great. I mean, a guy that gets on base a ton. And now with Lewis down for a while, he becomes even more important and more valuable. I mean, they need him at this point in the outfield. So it's great. The timing for him is great, and he's going to get a real opportunity here. He's going to get some good run. I mean, he's going to play a lot.
And how about, I loved how Scott Servais said that they have the nickname. I'd like to find out who pinned the nickname on Donovan Walker. Rudy. I think that's terrific. And the fact that he went large last night, he went about 15 rows back, that was very impressive.
Yeah, the only thing that would have been perfect if they would have greeted him at home plate and carried him off the field after the home run. I think that would have been the perfect Rudy scenario.
That would have been too much. Greg Green joins us right now, the Mariners VP of Marketing. GG, good to see you, man. How's everything?
Couldn't be better.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah,
I'll bet.
Okay, look at this weather. The team's on a roll.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good work. You did. I assumed you engineered this whole thing.
I had nothing to do with the weather.
What?
The marketing guy has nothing to do with the team on the field, which
I
everybody's
thought you
very
were-
happy. I topped
so-
out
I
at
thought you were-
T-ball.
I thought-
There's no way I have anything to do with these guys' success on the field.
I thought you were
They're
in
getting
control
it
of this
done.
whole thing. So I've been.
No, I'm
It's very
happy to be
confusing.
here under the sunshine, Seattle sunshine, watching this team play.
It makes your sell go a little bit better, a lot better. You got some ticket
fun.
news for us?
Yeah, so we just announced today
saw that.
we got some more games coming, more seats available.
I like that.
Yeah,
where
we're up to.
where are we right now?
So we are just about 11,000, and that's going to pop up. It's going to be almost 2/3 full here potentially.
Oh, outstanding.
Next homestand. Yeah, so
Nice.
we're going with more fully vaccinated sections. Those will go on sale next Monday at noon for Mariners Mail members, and then all fans will be able to get those tickets next Tuesday, and that's just for the next homestand. So June 14th to June 23rd.
Let me ask you this: with the
You're going to ask me anything.
the vaccination, that's what I do for a living for the last X amount of years. Fan reacts to the vaccine sections. What's that been like?
It's been great. I mean, I've been out there as fans have been picking up their T-shirts and rewards for this homestand, and there's a lot of. It's nice to be back. Baseball feels normal. It feels normal to come back to the ballpark, to be sitting next to somebody, to have your masks off. I mean, we're all kind of getting back to it, and that this is a big step in sports and kind of our return to normalcy. And we're doing it incrementally. We're doing it every step of the way with the county and the state's advice to make sure our players, our fans, our staff are all safe. And let's keep it that way, and keep having fun here at the ballpark.
Well, my favorite moments this year have just involved having the fans here, and from the big moments like
nothing against the 2D fans,
nothing,
or the fake crowd noise.
Nothing against that.
But you did a good job on that. by the way.
You did a good job. Weird, but
from like the big moments like the Kellner curtain call to just a kid getting a foul ball.
Yeah,
those little moments that changes that kid's life, but just the big smile, the whole thing.
Yeah,
just missed it so much.
And we've heard from the dugout, the clubhouse, that it's spread out here. We only have 10,000 people at the ballpark right now, but it sounds good.
Yes, it does.
They sound more than 10,000. Our fans are bringing it on a nightly basis.
When we first came here, I mean, it felt like I felt a surge of energy.
Yeah.
How could you not? Whether it be here at Next Door TV, and it felt right.
Yeah,
it really did. It felt right. A couple other things I want to talk about. Giveaways. What do you have coming up on the next homestand?
So next homestand, we've got giveaways. We've got events. We're bringing back our value nights. We have 5 value nights next homestand. 4 right out of the gate, June 14th through the 17th, and on June 22nd against the Rockies. And we're expanding that as well. So fans will not only be able to get the $10 view seats, but they'll also now be able to get main level seats, terrace club seats, expanded options with our value games, which is terrific, and that'll be back all summer long. Also have the return of the beard hat. I know, Gary, your favorite.
I love the beard hat.
As you go from goatee to beard.
I change it all the time. Yes, I'm in.
Yeah, so that's, as you remind, it's a truly unique Mariners promotion where you get the knit cap combined with the beard. And that's going to be on Friday the 18th.
I've seen those at other venues back when I was doing NFL games.
Yeah.
And I'd catch them. I was like, hey, man, there's somebody from Seattle.
Yeah, it's a very Seattle look. So the beard hat's back on the 18th. And then on Sunday the 20th, as you know, is Father's Day here. It's a good way to celebrate with Dad at the ballpark. Always a good time. And then what we're really excited about, and we just announced today, is that on Juneteenth, on June 19th, we're going to be saluting the Negro Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was the 100th anniversary. Today is the 75th anniversary of the Steelheads' first game. Our squad's going to be wearing the steelhead uniforms.
A lot of merch.
Yes.
We're talking merch, right?
Those uniforms look so good.
They're
great. Phenomenal.
They're great. We wore them in 2015.
Right, the black and white, right? It was a
black and cream.
Yeah.
Black
and cream. That's the difference.
It's a good sharp
it's a great look.
Yeah. So we're going to be wearing those uniforms.
That'll be an extra large.
We'll work on that. What number are you?
32.
And then, doing a lot of celebration of not only the Steelheads, but all the Negro League players.
Yeah.
Bob Kendrick's going to come up from
I
Kansas
love Bob
City.
Kendrick.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Come up
He's
from
the
Kansas
best.
City. Yep. And help us tell the story of this important generation.
Will
of
you
players.
have him? And if I know you guys, you're going to have him up on the big board. Maybe do a few second.
Yeah, we're gonna have him up with you guys as well. Yeah, radio and
Bob
TV.
can go now. Yeah, Bob can go.
We might have to book a couple 3 innings.
I'm telling. There's no question
seriously,
about
for sure.
that.
But I mean, it's going to be a really great celebration here. We're planning some other musical performances, and it should be a really awesome day at the ballpark.
That's very exciting.
There's no better ambassador.
Than Bob Kendrick?
Yeah, he's amazing. I'm so happy he's coming. That's going to be such a fun day at the ballpark.
And then, also, it's a chance to celebrate our hometown 9 class. We have our inaugural class that's come through. About half of them will be here because they're out playing ball. They're all ball players, and it's tournament time. They're out playing ball, and it's a really cool opportunity to celebrate that inaugural class.
By the way, let me just give a quick pop. Bob Kendrick, for those who do not know, is the president of the Negro Leagues Museum and Hall of Fame in Kansas City.
Yep.
I'll never forget my first year with the Mariners. We go to Kansas City, and the Hoffer, Dave Niehaus, said, "Hey, we're going to have lunch. We're going over to the museum." I'm like, it was great. And it was like, and for me being African American, to go in there and see that, I mean, I've been almost every year, and it just, part of it is like, it fills me with joy, and the other part, it just rips me in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a great, if you're a baseball fan, it's something you absolutely positively have to, you have to go through, because the history and untold history in a lot of regard is covered right there in that building.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I've been in there. I go there every year, every time I go to Kansas City.
You and I went a couple of years ago. Yeah.
And whenever we can get a Bob tour, that's when it's like the great.
Yeah.
Because no one has more stories.
Yep.
And the stories are incredible. He's
He
got
can
so
tell you-
many. I'm so pumped for him to be here.
Yeah.
To that point, the third guy in this picture over here, let me tell you about him. He's that kind of guy. I mean, he has that kind of detail and that kind of excitement for what he does. So,
special anniversary last year, 100th anniversary. Coming back this year to really celebrate, because we didn't get a chance to celebrate
good point.
properly last year.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys jumped on that. Yeah. By the way, I'm going to say it again. I say it every opening day. What you guys do on opening day is phenomenal. I mean, and I've been around all the sports. It's the best. And I'm not just saying it because you're here.
Very kind. I have nothing to do with that either.
Whatever. Pass it along. Whatever.
Pass you credit for everything.
I don't even know what I do here.
Pass it along. Pass it along to the people, because it is such a special, and most of the ceremonies that you guys do are top flight. Really
appreciate that. That's very kind.
Yeah, speaking of next homestand, on the field, I'm pretty excited about this one. We get Nelson Cruz returning with the Minnesota Twins,
Love that guy.
which is going to be great. And then Tampa Bay, I'm sure people have noticed this, they are phenomenal right now. They're coming in for 4.
Another returner of former Mayor Mike Zanino. He's been
12 homers. Yeah, he's been crushing it.
He's in the
It's gonna
top
be a fun
5 or
series.
6.
Yeah.
They're owning the Yankees. They're 15 over 500.
Can't be
They beat
stopped.
the Yankees 20 out of 27 and 9 of the last 10 at the stadium.
Yeah.
Look out.
And then we wrap up with the Rockies.
Yeah.
The Rockies come in, and then we have a night game on Tuesday and an afternoon game on Wednesdays. Wednesday afternoon games are
That's
great.
going to be good stuff. And coming into the best part of the weather, the
Yeah,
summer weather here in
Solstice
Seattle.
is right there.
Yeah,
We're almost
man.
there.
Yeah, I mean, today, happy June 1, everybody.
This is the kind of day as we are going through the rain and October,
why we live up
November.
here.
Yeah, this is it.
This is why we
This
live
is
up
it.
here.
Days like this, it is perfection outside.
I still remember the first time, my first year in 07, it was like 9:50. We were in the 7th inning. It was still light. I was like, what is this? Yeah, I'm an East Coast guy. And I was like, wow, this is phenomenal.
Northernmost city in the United States.
No question.
Contiguous.
In the lower 48.
Right? Yeah.
Lower 48.
I mean, we don't last. It's important part of our territory.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. The ballpark looks great. And kudos. We'll tell Trevor Gooby the next time we tell him that. But he and his crew, what you guys do in terms of marketing and everything.
And kudos to the fans, too. I mean, again, they've just been bringing it. Yeah. Been bringing it, helping this team out.
My wife was at an engagement today, and she was in a waiting room, and one person came and said, I went to the game last night. It was great. It was great. You got to go. So, loved hearing that. Gigi, good to see you, man.
Good
Thanks
to see you
for your
guys.
time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. The On Deck show, we continue here. Got a few more minutes. Hey, let's relive last night in a manner of speaking. Tom Murphy had the walk-off last night, the sac fly. Did what he had to do, put it in the air, get it out there, run scores. Here's the skipper, Scott Servais, talking about Murph's big deal last night.
That's up near 10 there. Nothing surprises me with Murph. He got a lot of personality. It's a little bit different, the intensity, but I think when he keeps it light, it just it really helps our ball club. We've got a lot of young guys, and anytime you can go out with a smile on your face and laughing and enjoying your teammates and what you're doing, you're going to perform a little bit better. So I appreciate what he's doing and to keep it light. And it was a big at-bat. It was a fun win. Why not celebrate it? I thought that was great.
That's what we were talking about with guys bouncing off of Tom Murphy. At your own risk, you go to congratulate him.
I wonder if they were serious in trying to take him down, how many Mariners it would take to actually get him to the ground.
Over under 8.
Yeah, I was going to say at least a dozen.
I tell you what, we have not had we have not had any guys charge the mound, but pity the poor fool.
Well, yeah.
Who charges the mound. First of all, he won't get halfway, and when he does, he's going to have a guy. I'm not advocating. I'm just speaking the truth. I mean, that's how strong a guy
The
is.
pitcher would be better off just running the other way. That's the solid strategy there.
Emotionally tonight, having Marco back is going to mean a lot to this club.
It sure is. He's been the ace of the staff, opening day guy. He's been a real missing piece for the Mariners, and not just him production-wise, clearly, but also he's one of the heartbeats of the team. So It's going to be great to have him back, and this is going to be a tough one too. Chris Bassett is coming off his best start as a pitcher in the major leagues. Complete game 2-hitter. He was outstanding his last time out. He has turned his career around as an Oakland A. He got really emotional after the game last time out, just because of what he was able to do, and the A's really gave him a chance, and he's taken full advantage. So Mariners have their work cut out for him, but a chance to take another series tonight.
Yeah, hey, I like that. And wrap up the series tomorrow, then head on the road. Long road trip. 4 in L.A., and then go to Detroit and Cleveland.
Obviously, the natural progression, L.A. to Detroit to Cleveland.
You do the same thing I do when you see the schedule every year. It makes no sense. I mean, do you realize where we are in the continental United States, and could you make it put a little rhyme and or reason into that?
How many times have we wandered into the hotel in Detroit at like 5 a.m.? I remember distinct memory of it was 5 a.m., right? And we're getting off the bus and walking into the hotel, and it's just zombie land, all of us. And I remember looking at Robinson Cano, who always looks like $1 million. He always looks great. And I remember looking at him on our way in, and I was like, man, if even Robbie looks tired at 5 a.m. going to Detroit, I mean, what hope do I have? I've got no luck, man.
And he's got to face 95, 98 mile-an-hour fastballs.
He looks
in a few
amazing.
Hours.
Yeah.
And
even he looked tired.
Yeah, and we've had our share of those, and such is life in the Pacific Northwest. Here's the key. I'm really, I'm intrigued by this ball club. I did not expect 28-27 on June 1. And when you and I talked about this off air yesterday, going into the season, you thought you had Paxton. You didn't think you'd have Marco losing significant time. And, the team, the batting average is at, 30th. But here they are.
Yeah.
A game over 500 playing some solid baseball.
It's really impressive given the circumstances. And unfortunately, they're going to have to do it again because we'll see how long Kyle's out. But it's such a bummer because he was doing so many good things offensively. And I think he was sitting on a huge power month of June. He was doing a lot of stuff so well. Wasn't chasing, walking, brought the strikeout rate down. So much good stuff. The timing is so unfortunate. So we talked about it with Justin Hollander. It's going to have to be a next man up situation, and here we are again.
Well, you got Trammell, and at some point Kelnick's going to break out.
Yeah,
it'll happen.
Sure.
It'll happen. And along Haniger and everybody else, and Ty France is back. He's healthy. So there you go. There it is, everybody. The On Deck Show. Gary Hill. I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And we'll catch you on the radio and TV. Mariner baseball tonight. It's the Mariners and the A's. So long for now.
That wraps up this afternoon's broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in to the On Deck Show presented by T-Mobile.